Do you remember the weight of it? That lumpy, overstuffed red sock hanging by the fireplace? Or maybe yours was taped to the wall, right next to the tree. Before the big boxes were opened, before the wrapping paper flew across the room, there was the stocking. It held the little things, the treasures that didn't need batteries or instruction manuals. They just needed us. Waking up on those Christmas mornings in the 70s and 80s, digging into that sagging fabric felt like exploring a deep cave of wonders. Let's take a quiet moment to reach back in time, peek inside those stockings of our youth, and rediscover the tiny surprises that made the morning pure magic. Do you remember pulling out the Life Savers Sweet Storybook? It wasn't just candy, was it? It was a library in miniature. You might remember reading about Pete, the hockey player who lost the game until a wintergreen lifesaver cheered him up. It felt like a comic book written just for us. And the best part? Every time we turned a page, there was a roll of candy waiting there. A sweet reward for reading. Whether you were savoring the fruit flavors or the mints, reading those whimsical holiday scenes felt like a private little adventure. Some of us remember the story of the girl doing cartwheels for cherry lifesavers, doing them over and over just for that taste. For a few glorious minutes, that simple cardboard book transformed the morning. It was colorful, it was crunchy, and it was ours. Then, there were the stickers. Not just any stickers, but Wacky Packages. Do you recall the giggle that bubbled up when you saw those parodies? Crust toothpaste instead of Crest, Blunder bread. Before we had internet memes, we had these hilarious, slightly gross little squares. Finding a fresh pack in your stocking was like striking comedy gold. We'd peel them off and plaster them everywhere. Our notebooks, our metal lunchboxes, even our bedroom doors, until Mom told us to stop. It was a shared secret language of humor that we wore like a badge of honor. And digging deeper into the toe of the stocking, your fingers might graze cold metal. The jacks set. It was such a simple thing, a bouncy rubber ball and a handful of spiky metal stars, but it held the potential for hours of intensity. Do you remember kneeling on the hard living room floor, the surface smooth and cold under your knees? You'd toss the ball, and for a split second, the world stopped. You had to be fast, the scramble to scoop up the jacks before the ball hit the ground again. It was a test of pure dexterity. The clink of the metal against the wood, the racing heart, the disputes with siblings over who moved too fast. Losing a jack under the couch didn't ruin the game. It just added to the treasure hunt. It was the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, all fit into the palm of your hand. For the girls especially, seeing that pastel tube in the stocking was a moment of pure delight. Lip smackers. It wasn't just lip balm. It was a ticket to grown-up glamour. Do you remember the smell? The Dr. Pepper flavor that smelled exactly like the soda? Or the sweet, powdery scent of bubblegum? Holding that giant tube felt like a secret indulgence. We'd trade flavors on the playground and keep them in our pencil cases like gold bullion. The flavors eventually faded, or the tube melted a bit in the summer sun. But the memory of twisting that cap and applying that sugary gloss remains sticky in our minds, in the very best way. And then, there was the promise of freedom, the McDonald's gift certificate. It looked like just a slip of paper, maybe worth 50 cents or $1, but to us, it was a passport. It meant independence. It meant walking into that restaurant with the golden arches and ordering exactly what you wanted. No permission slip required. You could almost smell the fries just holding the certificate. You'd spend the whole day clutching it in your pocket, debating the impossible choice. A Big Mac or or a triple cheeseburger, a chocolate shake or a root beer float. It was a ticket to an adventure that tasted delicious. It was a reminder that Christmas magic could be simple, fast, and completely yours. For the creative souls among us, the stocking often held a challenge. Those crafty kits, mock-it and bucket stained glass sets, paint by numbers, or a skein of embroidery floss. They promised hours of quiet focus once the chaos of the morning settled down. Sure, we might have burned a finger on the oven trying to bake those plastic crystals, or made a glittery mess on the kitchen table. But when we finished that little sun catcher or ornament, we felt like true artists. It was the gift of making something with our own two hands. And what about the sound? The distinct clink-clink of the net bag. Chocolate coins. They were the ultimate pirate loot. Wrapped in shiny gold foil, they looked so real to our young eyes. You'd shake the bag just to hear the sound, imagining a treasure chest. Peeling back the foil was a tactile experience all its own. Sitting by the Christmas tree, watching the colored lights reflect off the gold wrapper while the chocolate melted on your tongue. It was the holidays condensed into a single, sweet bite. We tried to save them, didn't we? But usually, the bag was empty before breakfast. Sometimes, tucked in with the toys, there was something practical that we surprisingly loved. The annual date book. Maybe it was free from the Hallmark store or tucked into a card. It smelled faintly of ink and optimism. Even if we didn't have real appointments, we loved scribbling in birthdays and doodling on the dates. It was a little book of promise, a hope that the coming year would be full of good things. And we can't forget the physics experiment powered by determination. The yo-yo. Whether it was a Duncan or a Whammo, seeing official stamped on the side felt important. We spent hours trying to walk the dog or rock the cradle, usually ending up with a tangled string or a gentle bonk on the forehead. But winding that string, feeling the tension, and throwing it down, it kept us busy for hours. It was simple, frustrating, and wonderful. Finally, way down in the bottom of the toe, the gift that made us groan as kids, but that we'd secretly love to receive now. The socks, or the mittens. They were usually knitted, sometimes striped, and occasionally a little itchy. But they were always warm. They filled out the stocking like a soft secret. No matter how many toys we pulled out, the stocking didn't feel truly finished until we found that cozy pair tucked at the bottom. Before the age of smartphones and gift cards, those stockings were the purest kind of magic. They weren't about the price tags. They were about the surprise. A little candy, a small toy, something shiny, something silly. Those tiny treasures, pulled one by one from a stretched-out sock, carried all the excitement of the season. Even now, just the smell of peppermint or the crinkle of gold foil can take us right back there. Sitting in our pajamas, surrounded by wrapping paper, feeling completely safe and happy. Because back then, Christmas didn't need to be big to feel special. Sometimes, the smallest gifts held the biggest memories. I would love to hear your story. What was the one tiny treasure you always hoped to find in your stocking? Was it the Life Savers book, the chocolate coins, or something else entirely? Please, share your memory in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this brought a little warmth to your day, please consider subscribing. We'll keep the nostalgia coming, one memory at a time.